trick we took tonight.
She never said a thing to me.
She's too good of a sport. She went the whole cockeyed way. Boy, oh boy. Dragging a woman like that all the way out to the middle of the harbor for a bowl of sheep dip.
It was grease bean soup. And at least she tasted it. She didn't jab at it with her knife, throwing cute little epigrams like, "Ho, ho, ho, I think there's someone in there."
That's right. That's right. At least I was honest about it. You ate 2 bowls because you were showing off for Al Capone at the next table.
What are you so angry about, Paul?
I just told you I felt terrible for your mother.
Why? Where is she at this very minute? Alone with probably the most attractive man she's ever met. Now don't tell me that doesn't beat hell out of hair colors at the Late Late Show.
Oh, I can just hear now. But what sparkling conversation. He's probably telling her about a chicken cacciatore he once cooked at the High Lama of Tibet, and she's sitting there shoving pink pills in her mouth.
Well, you never can tell what people talk about when they're alone.
I don't understand how you can be so unconcerned about this.
Unconcerned? I'm plenty concerned. Do you think I'm going to get 1 week of sleep until that phone rings tomorrow? I'm scared to death for my mother. But I'm grateful there's finally the opportunity for something to be scared about. What I'm really concerned about is you.
Me? Me?
I'm beginning to wonder if you're capable of having a good time.
Why? Because I like to wear my gloves in winter?
No, because there isn't the least bit of adventure in you. Do you know what you are? You're a watcher. There are watchers in this world, and there are doers. And the watchers sit around watching the doers do. Well, tonight you watched and I did.
Oh, yeah, well, it was harder to watch what you did than once for you to do what I was watching.
You won't let your hair down for a minute. You can relax for one night. Boy, Paul, sometimes you act like a...
What? A stuffed shirt?
I didn't say that.
Well, that's what you're implying.
That's what you're anticipating. I didn't say you were a stuffed shirt. But you are extremely proper and dignified.
I'm proper and dignified? When? When was I proper and dignified?
All right. The other night. At Delfino's. You were drunk, right?
Right. I was stoned.
There you are. I didn't know it until you told me in the morning. You're a funny kind of drunk. You just sat there looking unhappy and watching your coat.
I was watching my coat because someone else was watching my coat. Look, if you want, I'll get drunk for you sometime. I'll show you a slob. Make your hair stand on end.
It isn't necessary.
Do you know last New Year's Eve at PJ Clark's? I punched an old woman. Huh, don't tell me about drunks.
All right, Paul.
When else? When else was I proper and dignified?
Always. You're always dressed right. You always look right. You always say the right things. You're very close to being perfect.
That's a rotten thing to say.
I've never seen you without a jacket. I always feel like such a slob compared to you. Before we were married, I was sure you slept with a tie.
No, no. Just for very formal sleeps.
You can't even walk into the candy store and ask the lady for a Tootsie Roll. You've got to walk up to the counter and point at it and say, "I'll have that thing in the brown and white wrapper."
That's ridiculous.
And you're not. That's just the trouble. Like Thursday night. You wouldn't walk barefoot with me in Washington Square Park. Why not?
Very simple answer. It was 17 degrees.
Exactly. That's very sensible and logical. Except it isn't any fun.
You know, maybe I am too proper and dignified for you. Maybe you would have been happy with someone a little more colorful and flamboyant, like the geek.
Well, he'd be a lot more lax than a stuffed shirt.
I thought you said I wasn't.
Well, you are now.
I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to listen. I got a case of court in the morning.
Where are you going?
To sleep.
Now? How can you sleep now?
I'm going to close my eyes and count Kenichis. Good night.
You can't go to sleep. We're having a fight.
You have the fight. When you're through, turn off the lights.
That gets me insane. You can even control your emotions.
Look, I am just as upset as you are. But when I get hungry, I eat. And when I'm tired, I sleep. You eat and sleep too. Don't deny it. I've seen you.
Not in the middle of a crisis.
What crisis? We're just yelling a little.
You don't consider this a crisis? Our whole marriage hangs in the balance.
It does? When did that?
Just now. It's suddenly very clear to me that you and I have absolutely nothing in common.
Why? Because I won't walk barefoot in the park in winter? You haven't got a case, Corey. Adultery? Yes. Cold feet? No.
Don't oversimplify this. I'm angry. Can't you see that?
Corey, it's 2:15. If I can fall asleep in about a half an hour, I can get about 5 hours of sleep. I'll call you from court tomorrow morning and we can fight over the phone.
You will not go to sleep. You will stay here and fight to save our marriage.
If our marriage hinges on breathing fish balls and poop-a-la-poo pie, then it's not worth saving. I am now going to crawl into our tiny little single bed. If you care to join me, we'll be sleeping from left to right tonight.
You won't discuss it. You're afraid to discuss it. I married a coward.
Corey, could you bring in a pill? The closet's dripping.
Whoa, I hate you. I hate you. I really, really hate you.
Corey, there is one thing that I've learned in court. Be careful what you say when you're tired and angry. You might say something you will soon regret. I am now tired and angry.
And a coward.
And now I'll say something I will soon regret. Sorry, Corey, maybe you're right. Maybe we have nothing in common. Maybe we rushed into this marriage just a little too fast. Maybe love isn't enough. Maybe two people should be checked for more than a blood test. Maybe they should be checked for common sense, understanding, and emotional maturity.
All right, Paul. Why don't you get it passed in the Supreme Court? Only those couples bearing a letter from their psychiatrist proving they're well-adjusted will be permitted to be married.
You're impossible.
You're unbearable!
You belong in a nursery school.
It's a lot more fun than the home for the fuddy-duddies.
All right, well, let's not get...
Don't you touch me! Don't you touch me!
Come on, Corey, seriously.
No! I can't look at you. I can't even be in the same room with you now.
Why?
I just can't, that's all. Not when you feel this way.
When I feel what way?
The way you feel about me.
Corey, you're hysterical.
I'm not hysterical! I know exactly what I'm saying. It's no good between us, Paul, and it never will be again.
Holy cow.
I'm sorry, I don't want to cry.
Oh, for Pete's sakes, cry. Go ahead and cry.
Don't you tell me when to cry. I'll cry when I want to cry. And I'm not going to have my cry until you're out of this apartment.
What do you mean out of this apartment?
Well, you certainly don't think we're going to live here together, do you? After tonight?
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. I want a divorce.
A divorce? What?
I'm sorry, Paul. I can't discuss it any longer. Good night.
Where are you going?
To bed.
No, you can't go to bed. Not now.
You did before.
But that was in the middle of a fight. This is the middle of a divorce.
I'm sorry, Paul. I can't talk to you when you're hysterical.
You come down here. I want to know why you want a divorce.
I told you why. Because you and I had absolutely nothing in common.
What about those 6 days at the plaza?
6 days does not a week make.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just want a divorce.
You know, I think you really mean it.
I do.
You mean every time we have a little fight, you're just going to